Alright, hello friends. So today we're back with the path again. Last time we took on Ginger's path and got to learn a little bit more about the girl in white. But today we're going to be learning about our girl Ruby. She is the black sheep of the family, the goth girl, if you will. She's 15, so she's a little high schooler. And you'll also notice the prosthetic leg under the table. It's hard to see it a bit from here, but she's disabled. So, definitely will affect her perspective on things as somebody who struggled in life in a lot of ways that maybe the other sisters haven't. I am excited. The older three siblings all have something very specific and common, too, which I will, again, not discuss until we've gotten through to Scarlet's. But it's a very... how do I phrase it? It's so interesting to me. Getting into the older siblings, I think also just as I've gotten older, I can relate more to the older siblings and their struggles. When I first played this, I was between the ages of, I think, Rose and Ginger. And so I didn't really relate to Ginger as much because I honestly embraced getting older. I embraced becoming a young woman, but... okay, let's get a good look at Ruby. Oh, she's so cute. But yeah, she's got her leg brace, and then on the other side she's got tights and a nice boot. Very cute. And yeah, she does have a little bit of a walk from her injuries. So let's look at the inventory. So it looks like, again, there's one item that she can get that is on the top section. And then she's got her 3, so it won't let me. I have to use my mouse. I always forget that. Bread. This is for the old lady, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, typical I'm too cool for this goth girl vibes. This is for grandmother. I hope I get a sip too. So curious about alcohol, typical teenager behavior. Knife. Cut my veins and make me bleed. A valley or an ocean. Desire or need. Okay, yep, on brand again. Fun. Bullet. Guns are just boring. Wish people still fought with swords and spears. Okay, yeah. One more oil victim put out of its misery. I should be so lucky. Okay, so definitely a very depressed teen. Skulls and bones make such captivating jewelry. Okay, yeah. Very, very edgy girl. What's the point of wanting anything if you can't have everything? Okay, that's not a great perspective to have, but I'll take the path of needles any day. Okay, so definitely curious about substances, probably getting into a little party girl era. 2 heads on 1 bear. Makes sense to me. Okay, yeah, she's a cool girl. She gets it. The boot. 1 shoe. Nobody ever loses 1 shoe. Unless they also lose a leg. Or die. Okay. Very drastic jump there. The record. I prefer my music engraved in black. Okay, we've got the alt girl for sure. Flowers like these only last for a short while after they are picked. Okay, so life is fleeting, life is short. Balloon, no comment. Piano, also no comment. Oh, I wonder if... no, because that doesn't make sense. Okay, paint drips like tears. Or paint drips like tears. Gravity pulls everything down. It's only natural. Okay, so kind of basically life isn't fair. That's just the way it goes. Oh, can I interact with the crows? I don't know if it matters much. Okay, well, I'm gonna go into the woods. Okay, I should keep an eye for the wolf is that way. We will not go that way. I cannot yet see the map. Okay. So, cool. We've got, the wolf is that way. I must be headed, okay. Her wolf is at the playground. So the playground is here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not. So we can go to the piano, but then we want to avoid, piano's right here, so we might as well check it out. But then we want to go the other way and avoid that until we can get back. The world is a stage. Nothing is what it seems, except for nothing itself. So, edgy, moody girl. We've all been there. Or at least me and most of my friends, I feel like. Okay, you can't interact with it too. It just shows up on everybody's map, I guess. So, yeah, it might be beneficial to go out of here and then to loop the map around. So yeah, Ruby, definitely an edgy girl, definitely very depresso espresso. After going through Rose's interactions and then getting to the other sisters, it's just definitely an interesting shift. Can you interact with the bathtub? Nope, Rose could. Oh shoot. I wonder if one of these was the bathtub and only Rose could interact with it. Or maybe, I don't know if I interacted with that as Rose. Well, Soulevou, or whatever the French say. Okay, the car's over here. There it is. Oh, hey. It's our girl. Okay, how tall am I in comparison to you? Okay, I'm taller than her, I think. Oh, she's crying. She's like, I don't care. Oh, is she playing hide and seek with me? The car. Trying to honk the horn. Engines and friends. Turn them on, turn them off. Life, death. Are they so different? So, potentially lost some friends. Themes of feeling alone, maybe. She's just crying. Oh no, she's laughing. Okay, they're kikiing together. Hee hee. Okay. Okay, well, so we want to go this way to get to the wheelchair and the bunker. Which I don't know, I already interacted with the bunker, but... There's another thunk at my window. Maybe it's just like, because it rained, water's dripping. It just scares me when I hear thunk at my window. Oh, it looks like the field of flowers. She can interact with the scarecrow. Interesting. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, she's waiting by the wheelchair for me. She's like, check this out. You can interact with this. Which I know we sat down in it as Robin, but... Was she just doing the e-boy gesture at me? Oh, she's watching from afar. She's creeping on me. That's a little eerie. Sitting on wheels, paralyzed soul. Nowhere to go. Fast. Okay. Why are you... Oh, cigarettes. I can't believe I have never smoked. I really should. They say it makes your life shorter. That's not good, Ruby. But it's, you know, when you're a depressed kid. Alright, so she gets to draw on the bunker too. She gets a bigger section to draw on. It doesn't show what Ginger drew. If anything. Paint drips like tears. Gravity pulls everything down. It's only natural. We've heard this. Ruby's so cute though. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, let's look. The wheelchair was one of her special items. Interesting. Okay, so, the jack-o'-lantern. She runs a lot faster than the other girls, which is nice. What is this? Was there an item here previously? Interesting. Is this maybe where the tree was? It was a white tree, I thought. Is there an item that I got here before that I just don't remember? And there's our friend. Look at you run. A scarecrow and no birds. Efficient. Wish I had one like that to keep the idiots away. Oh, she's looking out at the field. Interesting. Oh, is that Ginger? Huh. Oh, no, that's him. Oh god, that's scary. Oh, she took his head. His face. Ugh. Do not like him. Would never... If you give me your head, you will please me so much more. From a silver platter, I shall eat you. Interesting. Alright, just one item left by the looks of it, and it looks like all that's left is there. Let me just do my quick little search. She admires the beauty of decay. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the knife, the bullet, the feather, the diamond, the syringe, the teddy bear, the boot, the record, the flower, the piano, not usable by Ruby but appears on the map, and basket as one. Tower. Okay, so we haven't gone to the tower yet, but that's in the last area. The wall, the wheelchair, pumpkin head, the car, the couch. It triggers, let's see. The couch triggers no memory, not marked on map. Interesting. Okay, so we could potentially get the couch. I don't know where it is. It's not marked on the map, but it doesn't trigger anything for her, so I don't think it's worth it, because we can just trigger it with another sibling. Because I know that's what happened with Robin. She could interact with the couch in the woods, but she didn't get anything, and it obviously didn't trigger anything in the menu. And if it appears after her 3 things, then it's probably for one of the 2 oldest siblings, but... Oh, okay, so to the playground. I dislike the 3 older siblings wolves the most. They're my least favorite. Which, once you see the common denominator, you'll probably agree. I think that's the tower over there. Which, I can see the wolf. Barely, but I know you're there. So... I'll just approach and we'll see the little cutscene and you can see all the items. Oh, I'm approaching near the tower. That's good. Is it not gonna trigger? Okay. Okay. There's such beauty in decay. Rust is lovelier than paint. Though I doubt old age will happen to me. Very sad. Okay, let's interact with this bad boy. Oh, she's not strong enough. Her heart is beating. What does she have to say about it? I must be getting old. It's about time. Okay. I'm less empathetic. not that I'm not empathetic to Ruby. It's just I've been a little emo kid. So there's a body and a rug. I'm not gonna pretend I haven't noticed it. But there's also a man that we're gonna interact with. It's not that I'm not empathetic to Ruby though, it's that I've been in her shoes being an edgy emo teenager, so... Okay, can I not do anything? Is this it? Get up? Okay, well, how do I trigger you? Gasp? Is there something I'm supposed to interact with to trigger you? Oh, he's getting up. Okay, I have to interact with the bench on its own, maybe? Okay, there we go. Oh, he's smoking a cigarette and she wanted to try. She's trying to be cool. Ruby just wants to be accepted for who she is, even if that means getting in with the wrong crowd. Okay. Oh, the legs flung like that. Very not. Can you get up, baby girl? Oh, and I didn't notice this, but each time that we wake up, the girls are waking up closer to Grandma's house. Take your time. It's tricky to get up. So yeah, a lot of themes of her obviously being very depressed, being very mentally unwell, or struggling a lot with her mental health. Themes of her wanting to get in with the wrong crowd, being curious about substances, and not that curiosity about substance always equates to getting in with the wrong crowd, but in Ruby's case, there are signs of that intertwining. There's also a lot of car symbolism, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's because she got into a car accident that she hurt herself, which is a possibility. She likened cars to people, though. And she talked about relationships ending, so perhaps her mental health struggles, her pushing people away, feels like that of a car crash to her, you know? She's going fast, she's doing well with people, but then it gets volatile, and she doesn't feel like she has control over it, and then the relationship crashes and burns. Yeah, it's really interesting, but I guess we'll learn more in here. I don't remember too much, but I do remember there were a lot of themes of substance abuse and wanting to get in with bad crowd. Dead flowers, so she definitely likes the idea of she is very comfortable with thoughts of death and aging, which is in stark contrast to the three younger siblings. Okay, up the stairs we go. Oh, there's flames. Are we gonna look? Yeah, oh, smoke. So again, she could feel like her life is in flames or her relationships all crash and burn. We've got boilers and steam rooms. Maybe she's got a lot of emotions she's trying to process. She feels like she could burst at any moment. It's falling ash, I'm assuming. Decay. Maybe she feels like school is never ending since the long hallway. Peacock's beautiful feathers. There's the tire tracks all around the school and the cage, so maybe feeling caged in by her emotions. Maybe just wanting to be normal, wanting to fit in, wanting to have healthy relationships, but feeling like she crashes and burns every single time. Oh, okay, I can still keep going. Oh, but now she's got a little bit, okay, she's getting herself back up. But there is possibility that it is on that more literal sense of maybe she did get into a car crash. Maybe that is what caused her injury. Or maybe because of her injury she feels like she's judged by people more harshly, and that's why her relationships crash and burn. Or it could be both. She could have gotten into a car crash and holds a lot of trauma from that. This boiler room definitely makes me feel like she feels like she's gonna burst from all her feelings. Merry-go-round feels like she's spinning, maybe. Interesting. A picture of her is very cracked. Her wolf being a man in like dark clothing. He had like blonde hair and light features, like seemingly trustworthy, but the dark 3 out of 4. Okay, again, some item I probably could have gotten. Distance traveled, 8:22, the shortest walking distance yet. Interesting. Rank B, every single time you have found the abandoned playground. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think it could be that either path makes sense to me, and again, these are all so up for interpretation. There's more that could be thought or theorized about Ruby that even that went past me. I'm gonna look really quick online because I feel like I didn't give much insight. Okay, so somebody's saying the rug raises suspicion because you see the charming wolf with it, and you think, oh, maybe murder. People use rugs to hide body. But is it meant that he's a killer, or are we simply meant to associate him with death and danger? You know, he's a dangerous man. So yeah, they're talking about a potential car accident and that causing psychological trauma, which, yeah, again, that could very well be the reason why she's likening her struggling with relationships to a car crash. So Ruby was actually the first playable character that they made, interestingly enough. Okay, it looks like her item in white is a book too. That's something of note. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the girl in white can come up like she's wanting to talk, and then Ruby covers her face like she was crying. The girl in white stood and looked at her, then ran away, and then Ruby giggled when she left. Okay, I didn't really understand what was going on in that interaction. I didn't see it clearly. So perhaps that, if the girl in white is to symbolize, like, innocence or, like, your childlike self, it could be that Ruby struggles to face that part of herself because she feels like death is so destined for her, or, like, she's so ready for the end that she is struggling to face that side of herself, and then maybe her giggling as it leaves is her being like, oh, one step closer to ending it all, which is really dark. It's really messed up, but And then, yeah, the girl in white watches Ruby from behind in a tree nearby. Oh, that's an interesting note, too, because if you go back to the path, the girl in white will stay with you until you stray again, which I think also is interesting symbolically. Yeah, this one they say kind of the same thing. I think Ruby fell into the bad crowd who seemed to accept her for who she was, and maybe they genuinely did, but they encouraged her to engage in reckless behavior, which ultimately destroyed her relationships. Interesting. I think Ruby's path represents the dangers of peer pressure. Although she acts like she wants to be left alone, I get the feeling she really just wants someone to accept her. Yep. I think for me, Ruby is a lot more straightforward as a former emo kid, or alt kid or whatever. I don't think I was like full on in subgenres, music, style, whatever, but you understand what I'm saying. I was a former alt kid. / still am to some people. But I think that I was in a similar headspace to Ruby for a while, where I felt very lonely and I pushed people away a lot. And so seeing her, be fascinated with death and decay and feeling like there was no hope for the future, it's hard when you're in that depressed state to not feel like that. But then along comes a charming man in all black, and you're like, ooh. And even though he represented danger, he was lugging that carpet around. He was like, hey, let's smoke a cigarette together. He was a bad boy. But Ruby kind of liked that. And even though she seemed a little timid to accept the cigarette from him, she was a little nervous because she knew he was a dangerous person, or, in theory, somebody that might lead her down a bad path. She took it because she wanted to take that risk. Just where she was at in her mental state and with her trauma, it was worthwhile risk for her because, those smooth talking, charming people, even though they may be bad for you, they can make you feel accepted and loved for a bit. It's not to say that it could also represent, because I know that article was saying she fell in with the wrong crowd and then she ended up ruining her relationships. It could also be that she fell in with the wrong crowd and they made her feel accepted, but maybe she ended up getting into toxic and unhealthy relationships where she ended up feeling worse about herself, but didn't feel like she could leave. Maybe she felt trapped in those relationships, even though they were bad for her and they were really toxic and mentally and emotionally draining. Maybe that's what the cage, the crash could symbolize. It's all very ambiguous again, so as I've said 3 times before, I'm very curious to hear what your guys' perspectives on Ruby's story would be. She's definitely got an interesting tale. There's definitely a lot of interesting symbolism there. It feels like it's getting shorter and shorter to get through each girl. But next time, we'll be getting to know Carmen and going along on her story. But until then, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.